Hey, welcome back to another episode of This Week at Skye. I'm joined again by Phil. How you going, Phil?
Great, Ashley. How
Fabulous.
are you?
I'm good. How you doing? It's a bit early again this morning.
It is.
Just one coffee in.
I'm good. Yeah, another one on the way.
One and a half again.
Yeah.
Cool.
Feeling good.
Lovely. We had a big week last week. The IFA Awards were announced, and Skye, look, if we don't come home with a few awards, there might be a riot.
Yeah. Well, I'll flip it to. I'm saying it now. Anyone at IFA, I'll flip over our table if we don't take out at least one award.
You really might. I believe that. Hopefully we come home with at least one award. I don't want to be in the middle of that.
And the thing is, if we go up for a team award, I want other businesses to come up with us.
Yeah.
So I'm looking out for some friends of ours to join us on stage because we're all friends. Everyone can win the Skye Award if we win one.
Yep. Should be good.
Because I'll be jumping up on other people's award winning stages. So don't you worry about that. Looking out for you, Corey.
Repeat of last year.
Exactly.
Oh, good. So some of the awards that we're up for, you got a couple of nominations.
I did, and so did you.
Practice Principal of the Year and Thought Leader of the Year.
That's it. I think
Exciting.
a lot.
Yeah, you do think a lot. We all get to hear about it every week. We got...
you are blessed to hear about it every week is what you meant to say.
I'm blessed. Everyone else chooses to. We got Kat and Trent nominated for Risk Advisor of the Year, Amy for Newcomer of the Year, and then Skye as a team have been nominated for Business Outcome Leader of the Year, Financial Impact Team of the Year, Transformation of the Year. I thought there was one more, but there you go.
I think there was just three, the three
Just
ones.
three.
And Ashley, you got nominated for one as well, Innovator of the Year.
Yeah.
So, and last week, we had our quarterly all-team meeting, all hands meeting, other companies call it, and you were the award winner for Employee of the Quarter.
Yeah.
Nominated by everyone in the business. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Why did you deserve it? Tell me. You didn't do much of an acceptance speech.
No, I didn't.
So you can do one now.
Oh, fair enough.
So how did you deserve the Employee of the Quarter award?
Well, thanks to you guys getting me down doing these podcast recordings every Monday morning. That was part of it. I have a great team behind me in our little pod, so
You think you're
Other people
more in
making
front
me
of the
the goat?
team than everyone
think-
else? Is that why?
people can see me a bit more. Yeah,
Oh,
that's for
I think
sure.
you're downplaying it. There was some lovely comments.
It was so nice.
So we survey everyone in the team and we ask them at the end, who do you vote for and then why? And so there was lovely comments. So congratulations.
Thank you, Phil.
And then the other thing we had last week, we had the Skye Cycling Challenge. So what was our total Ks ridden was 1,123.49 kilometres.
Incredible.
Well done.
We
Now,
need our party hats.
we do. And sorry, remind me, how many Ks did you contribute towards that?
A big fat 0.
Okay.
I'm a bad person.
True. And next time you can. But I'm giving out some awards.
Oh, cool.
So I'm giving out, the most disappointing award goes to Trent Bacon. Looking at you. So Trent, we had 4 anchors in our team.
Yeah.
So the 4 anchors, meaning like the solid 4
Committed.
was going to be me, Azaria, Nat, and Trent. We all committed to 250 each.
Yeah, you guys were talking about this in Torquay during our advisor retreat.
Exactly. And Trent ended, we didn't get exact Ks on Sunday, but I believe he ended less than 100 kilometres. And so I'm incredibly disappointed with his efforts. We had some people really step up though. So we had our best performer. Now, I underestimated this young man. Okay, if this person gets over 250 Ks and is not injured, I will be surprised because I think an injury is coming. Sebastian.
You fueled him.
Sebastian rode. He came in and said, I'm going to do 1,000 Ks straight away. Now, he changed it to, I really think I'm aiming for 500. He got 300 kilometres and 300 kilometres. Yeah, 0.31.
Incredible.
In a week. And
that was just in 5 days because he didn't do anything over the weekend either.
correct.
Yeah.
He was our top performer.
Yeah.
And then most importantly, actually, is our best fundraiser was Lenny. So great job to Lenny. Let me just give her a shout out and find out how much. Raised over $584 for the cause. So
Incredible.
with the link, you can get individual donations, goes towards a team. And so the total amount of money raised so far, because we're going to keep it open for a little bit, and I'm going to go and hammer some of our partners, insurance partners, and say,
and anyone watching, you can donate too.
Exactly. So in total, we've raised just under $1,400 for the Cancer Council of Victoria. So we'll keep it open, and Skye is going to donate $1 per kilometre that we rode. So that's not including. Okay, give me the math. Let's do the quick math. What's that? What's those two numbers put together, Ashley?
About 2,500 thereabouts.
So we're going to raise. Wait, let me just. Yes, it's over 2,500 that we're going to raise. So great job to everyone, even Trent. 100 Ks, great job. Some other
it's more
shout
than
outs.
I did.
Let me do some other shout outs. Ruby gave us 21 Ks. Sam, came in this morning, said he did 30 Ks. Harper, my daughter, did 9.3 kilometres.
We'll remember Harper from a couple of weeks ago beating me.
That's right. Yes, correct. Seb, 300. Who we got? Lenny, over 100 kilometres.
Yeah, her goal was 100, so she smashed it.
And then Trent, disappointingly, 96. Azaria came in third with 255.47 Ks. I came in second because I saw what K she got, and I just literally did 500 metres more than her. So I did 255. Big shout out, actually, really big shout out to Natalia. Did 50 Ks, even though we said she was going to be our anchor and do 250 Ks. The reason she deserves a massive shout out is because she had surgery the week.
Yeah.
So still did.
The fact she got any is incredible.
Yeah, still did 50 Ks on the week that she was having surgery. So great job to everyone.
Yeah, incredible outcome. Will be good to see what the final tally on the donations is next week. Yeah. So we have a few articles to chat about this week, per usual.
Yes.
First up, there's one that has been doing the rounds. I think you said you've been tagged in a couple times on Facebook as well.
Yeah, one of our clients have tagged us in on Facebook on this article.
Yeah. So the ABC have written an article and done a little piece chatting with a woman whose insurance claim was denied. The headline for this article is "Failure to declare tests after urinary tract infection sees cancer patient's insurance voided," which is a very catchy, pull you in title. Initially, you're thinking, oh my goodness, insurance is terrible, never pays out, what's going on? Which is common misconceptions people already have.
Yes.
So sort of adding fuel to the fire there. But if you have a read through the article and apply the same lens that we have access to applying because we work in this every day, the sort of narrative spills out a little bit differently. But I can imagine everyone else reading this, our clients reading this, probably wouldn't come to the same sort of conclusion that we do.
Yeah, and look, the article doesn't have heaps of details around. It's this, obviously a horrible situation. Having cancer, they going through a claim is always really stressful, and so it's. And it's this person's personal medical history. So I'm sure ABC is not like, give us all your medical history and we'll do a deep dive on it. But just for context, I reached out to MetLife, our relationship manager at MetLife, and sent a text and saying, hey, you're famous. Because I know when these things happen, the insurance companies internally, they don't scramble, but they're just like, hey, let's try and get an understanding of what's going on, because it sounds really bad. A UTI, getting a policy, a claim not paid, and then the policy voided is really significant.
Very.
So I guess some of the things that, we don't know details on, and we talked about this last week in the office with some, our claims manager, Marie, and a few other people who have been around insurance for 20 odd years. And we were looking at and going, a UTI wouldn't be really a cause of issue. We've had clients get policies with UTIs disclosed. In the article, it says there was a UTI and additional medical test was the reason for it. Now, that is where I think the devil's in the detail is like, what were those medical tests? And I'll give you an example of one of our clients and friend of mine who since passed away. We actually tried to increase his cover before he knew he had cancer. He had medical tests that had high white blood cell counts. So the insurance company said, actually, we're going to decline this increase because we don't know why there's high white blood cell counts. We don't know what's going on, but there is. And so, he ended up having cancer and pancreatic cancer. And so the ongoing medical test and question marks around that is for, that client's case that we had was a legitimate reason not to accept that increase in cover. And so that's really what I would suspect is happening here, but we don't know any of the, the actual details about this. But, we also have someone who used to work in an insurance company, or multiple, for 20 years, and sometimes these articles, they don't provide the whole story. And so it is, difficult to discuss, but also the mechanisms to decline a claim is pretty significant. So an insurance company can't just say, hey, we're not paying you out, see you later. They've got to provide, a lot of detail. Like they've got to have a show cause letter, and then to void a contract is pretty significant as well.
Yes. So that's the component we didn't touch on, is that not only was the claim not paid out, all of the premiums were refunded.
It doesn't say exactly. It's just voided, but likely
policy was voided.
Yeah, likely would have refunded the premiums back to date. But there's a few things to note that disclosures matter a lot.
And she says that there's a recording in the article, and she ends the recording by saying, disclose everything, no matter how trivial you think it is. And I thought that was really important, but also was thinking, I wonder how many people watched the whole 2 minutes.
And didn't just read the headline saying the UTI is getting declined. And the other thing is, some people think, okay, so our position at Skye is we don't move insurance policies all the time because it poses a lot of risks. If you move an insurance policy, you've got 3 years where if you've had a non-disclosure in that 3 years, if there's a non-disclosure, the insurance company can void your contract. So you can then become uninsurable, which is what's happened here. So moving insurance policies, it's not like car insurance or home and contents insurance where you can just go online and quickly change providers really easily. It has a significant impact if you ever need the policies. So, some people will think, oh, well, you just don't want me to move policies because it's more work for you and, whatever the case. But this is a great reason why medical disclosures are really important. And we did a deep dive with Lenny about your duty at the application stage, and we talk about some of these mechanisms where the insurance providers can cancel the policy. Again, it's a horrible situation. A young family with a mum having cancer
and thinking they're protected and then not actually ending up being protected. Horrible situation.
Yeah, and it sounds like they had a policy with a previous insurance company as well that they would have cancelled moving to MetLife. So again, it's really important to make sure you do your due diligence. And so we don't have a lot of details to really provide a lot of colour on it.
No.
It's really unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate situation. The next article that we have is another very big headline. ASIC puts firms on notice over offshore outsourcing risk. Now, here at Skye, we have a very large team in the Philippines, so we're utilising a team offshore. What are the risks we're facing?
Anytime there's an article about ASICs, putting licensees, on notice, I always like to go to what ASIC say about themselves. So
they always have a media release that you can go and actually read
and there's
source.
A lot of details. So some of the things, ASIC did a review of a lot of 10 licensees, which covered a big, broad spectrum of the firms. They also did a review of, I think, 6 intermediary businesses. So businesses set up in the Philippines or India or Sri Lanka is what they said, and monitoring their kind of protection mechanisms. Some of the things that, was really important that ASIC said is like the cybersecurity stuff. We've been doing a lot of work and shout out to Fraser Jack from Cyber Collective. We've been doing a lot of work with Fraser on making sure we are staying up to date with our cyber requirements. The other thing that they mentioned was I've got this line in the article from ASIC that says the more critical the outsourcing function,
Yeah.
the greater the risks involved. The risk can be exacerbated when there is inadequate supervision of these functions, particularly when they are outsourced internationally. So one of the good things about Skye and one of the protection mechanisms at Skye is, number one, we don't manage investments. That's really the highest risk is when you manage investments. But outside of that, we still have personal, medical information from our clients. But one of the things that most licensees are removed from the actual advice business. So a licensee will authorize a business and then, we'll do audits every 12 months and we'll be in contact with them. But essentially they're removed. So that business can go and freely run their business. At Skye, we are the licensee, but we also run the business. So everything the licensee does and sees, which is me, I'm the responsible manager, I'm the director of the advice license. So it means from an AFSL point of view, we have complete oversight in everything we're doing when it comes to outsourcing and protecting our clients' data. So the risk for us in our business, being a small AFSL, is much lower, or we're much closely aligned to the risks involved. So we don't have any advice businesses that can be run and just go do
Can't see
cowboy,
what's going on.
be cowboys. We know exactly what risks we're taking with this, and how do we manage it and mitigate it. We're so closely aligned. A lot of the things that the ASIC were talking about was less about like privacy and stuff like that. It was actually about like service continuality. No, what word am I? Continuation. That's it. I barely passed English at school. It's really about those risks. Like if you can't continue to manage and run your business because of service providers losing internet or whatever the case may be, that's actually a really big risk that ASIC's outlined. So that's something that we manage for many, many years, and being so closely aligned with what we're doing, it reduces that risk a lot.
Definitely. It's an interesting one. The headline makes it sound, a bit big and scary, but there's a lot of protection mechanisms in place. And it seemed like it was more around the process or the tasks that you were offshoring, just being more cognizant of the risk that could be there.
And there's so many different arrangements. Like they're talking about like fund managers and how are they managing their offshoring arrangements versus, big licensees that have, hundreds of advisors within that licensee. So like there are a lot of risks there and oversight that may not be as
I mean, there's a lot of risk that just comes from running a business of that size regardless.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we have a special guest and we are talking about client stories, and we have a live client story with Amy. What time did you wake up this morning, Amy?
4:10.
4:10 to come to rainy Melbourne.
Yes.
Beautiful weather here.
It's beautiful weather at home.
This is actually the first time it's rained in weeks.
Yeah. So I brought it with me.
Yeah. All you northerners brought it down. So let's talk about a client story. What have you been dealing with recently?
So I've recently had a client get back in touch with me. I was initially doing her advice back in February. We'd presented the advice. She was about to start the application process and ended up heading to hospital with vertigo. So at the time, we rang around the insurer that we were recommending and a couple of others, and they all basically said, we can't give you any cover until you've been at least 6 months symptom and treatment free for the vertigo and figured out whether there was an underlying cause. So we put it on hold, touch base with her again in the last couple of weeks, and she's confirmed that that was likely just a viral infection that caused that. No underlying concern, no issues whatsoever. So we're now in the process of just updating her advice and getting ready to present that back to her so that we can get that cover in place now.
Yeah, cool. Great job. It's a good lesson of making sure we get insurance in place as early as possible, and life happens. And if it causes you to not be able to get insurance, don't drop the ball and not get it in place. Yeah, get it in place after a period of time. Yeah, so well done. Actually, I'll give you a client story, but it's an oldie but a goodie, as I like to say. We had a client in the same situation, got declined cover because of a medical event. This is like literally back in 2020. And then it was, hey, we've got to wait 12 months. And she was very proactive and came back and, didn't, put it in the too hard basket, got a policy in place. And then I think within 6 to 12 months after having the policy has been on a claim since then. So it's probably a 3-year partial claim for income protection, and had had she not been proactive in the first place to try and get it done, and then not been proactive again to get it done, she wouldn't be able to have insurance in place. So great job.
Get it done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Skye team's ready, forks in hand. Ashes Bacon takes the stand.
All right, back for Ash's Baking Corner again. And we have a special guest all the way from Queensland. Thank you for joining us, Azaria.
Thanks, guys. I'm very starstruck to be here.
Yeah. What time did you wake up this morning?
I woke up at 3:30 a.m.
And it's because of your state don't believe in daylight savings.
That's correct.
So thank you for joining us. Today we have, what do we got, Ashley?
Honey Joys, a party Aussie classic.
Yeah.
Which, Azaria, you didn't really go to Aussie kids parties, did you? Because you only moved here when you were, 10?
Yeah, exactly. But we went to some. I think we might have had something similar to that in England.
Did you have what's the hundreds and thousands bread? What's that called?
Fairy
again?
bread.
Fairy bread. Did you have?
No, we didn't have that.
You didn't have fairy bread.
At our parties, we'd have like cheese and pineapple on a stick. So good.
We do cabanossi, or what's the other word? And cheese.
I just did the classics. I did the fairy bread and honey joys.
Cabana is what it's mainly called here. Yeah.
All right, you get to choose.
All right. Thank
Now-
you.
The rule is you taste and you give us a rating out of 10.
Okay. This one's going to be an awkward one to eat on camera.
It is. And it's in your hair.
Oh,
It got stuck in your hair. That can come into the rating, to be honest.
Yeah.
So if that's a positive, save for later, or if it's a negative, you decide actually mortified. All right, what do we think?
This is really good. You know what? I'm going to go 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I reckon it could be even sweeter in a perfect world, but it's still really good.
Yeah, the bottom is like where you get the real.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's go.
yeah, I missed that part.
So most people know this goes up on my Instagram after I finished cooking and Mum saw it. She goes, 10 out of 10, surely. And then I go...
Your mum surely thinks you 10 out of 10 for everything. That's what mums are
She's
for.
she's never messaged me this before. And then she goes, maybe you're cheating because you're bringing in such a classic, like it's just a banger of a dessert that, it's cheating. So anyway,
I should know this, but what's your mum's name, sorry?
Simone.
Actually not the biggest fan of these, just naturally. They're classics, but I kind of feel like I'm having breakfast when I have them. This is not an indictment on yours. So I think I will go down the Trent vibe of saying I think Honey Joys can max out at like an 8 is the max, because I'm kind of having breakfast.
Which is appropriate right now.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it is. It's timely.
It's actually quite thoughtful. of you.
Knowing that they're coming in early. So yeah, it's probably one of the better ones I've had. I'm gonna eat the bottom of it just to get maximum honey. This is the least dignified.
It's on me.
I actually it just went up for the comic value. I do appreciate comic value in food as well. So I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. But really, max being 8 is good, and I enjoyed the comic value of it. What do you give it, Ashley? What do you rate yourself?
Oh, I think my mum's crazy calling it a 10. I think like 7 or 8 is, yeah. It's just a honey joy. You know, it's cornflakes and sugar.
Yeah.
It's cereal, but baked.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right. Thank you, Azaria. Appreciate you coming.
you, guys.
Appreciate you letting me spit cornflakes all
Yeah,
over you.
anytime,
Apologies for that.
I guess.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ashes Bacon takes the stand.
So this week we have some special guests in the office. They've all come down from their respective states. We got Kelly, Azaria, Amy coming in today.
Yes.
They're going to be here through till Wednesday, Thursday.
Yes,
I think
Wednesday, yeah.
Varies depending on person. So that's going to be fun.
Yes.
Full office.
It will be very full office. Last week it was a full office on
Yeah.
a few days. This week's going to be even fuller.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
At
excited.
capacity. What do you got going? What do you have going on this week?
So later this week, after the team go back home, catching up with a few advice firms who have reached out after our time in Brisbane. We spent a bit of time with other advice firms, and they've reached out because they're wanting to potentially partner with Skye to
Oh, cool.
help their clients with their personal insurance, needs. Yeah, a lot of firms are dealing with this kind of. I got some honey joy still in my throat. And so there are a lot of firms who are dealing with this same problem where life insurance isn't their core business, but
Yeah.
they try to bring in specialists, but then looking at maybe outsourcing out. So
Yeah.
catching up with a few firms later
Very
this week.
good. Hopefully that's a good outcome. We can see some work coming through
Yeah.
in the not too distant future.
What about you?
I don't have a lot out of the ordinary going on this week. Some advice meetings, chatting with clients that have already had their advice, helping them get through their application process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
More of the usual. That's it for this week. If you've enjoyed watching this recording and want to have a look at some more content we have coming up at Skye, we got a blog article that you can have a read about, guaranteed future insurability, one of Phil's favourite topics. We got a Skye Simplifies of what is indexation. And then Nat's recorded a deep dive with Phil talking about the difference between the different TPD definitions, own and any occupation. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, we have a playlist on the screen.